Hello, guten Tag. It's good to see you again, although I really wish we were in the classroom. Frau Parrott here, and if you notice something new about me, I have braces, but not for very much longer, so it shouldn't get in my way too much. Thankfully, I was able to keep them all hidden over the COVID shutdown. Okay, so as you see right now, I am on your homepage, German 2. Hi, so glad you're here, German 2. All right, let's do a great job here. I'm really excited about this. What you're going to notice here on your page, if you have some time, I would like you to click on this and listen to this person read this story from Mark Twain. If you don't want to sit there for 45 minutes and let him slowly read you this story, does a great job of it. But if you don't want to sit there for 45 minutes, find it online and read it for yourself. It's really quite funny. Okay, here's your Clever login link. But if you're here, you probably already used it, so don't know why it's here. Here's your passport. We didn't use it all that much last year. I did assign you several things, but very few of you ever did them. So that's going to change this year. You're going to be using this a lot. Okay, so your passport EMCL. You need to sign in again because you're in a different class this year. I have archived all your old stuff. As soon as you log in, it's going to recognize you as a previous student, and it will put you into your German 2 period 4 or period 6 class you need to choose. We'll get there in a second. Here's your tech support. Here's your homepage for Willis ISD. And here's your classroom resources. We're going to click on classroom resources, and you will see here is your Deutsch Aktuell level 1. Going to see if we can get to level 2 this year, but I'm not sure we're going to make it that far, but that's okay because we're going to learn as much as we can and try to get through everything that we need to get through. Okay, so absent, that's kind of difficult to do right now because there's no access to anything in this classroom. Okay, some resources. There's actually 6 resources, and it looks like I didn't add the other ones on here. But your school, a textbook, your Duolingo, which you've been to before, dw.de, which is Deutsche Welle. That's the one where you could go to training and learn even more German from Germans. Deutsche Welle is a TV broadcaster in Germany. So they play movies, they have all kinds of cool stuff there. And the Goethe Institute is really cool if you're planning on traveling, you want to go see things around the world, and a lot of German stuff. So you want to go there for that. Okay, so your first assignment that you're going to go through is I want to help you do, let me go to the modules. It's going to be in here. What is your why? Okay, so the first thing you're going to do today is what is your why? So last year I talked about this. Why is it that you are interested in learning German instead of taking Spanish? So what I'm doing here is trying to get you to remember that, to get you excited again, to want to come back to this class and learn something. All right, so if you struggled a little bit last year maybe, now you can really focus with the new year. Let's get through this. You'll have your 2 years of language, and if you only came in here because you needed 2 years and you didn't want Spanish, okay, that's your why. But let it motivate you so that you do the work and you get everything done and be your best self when you come to class. Okay, so again, your A's, umlauts, O's, and U's with umlauts. If you can't make those on your Chromebook, you don't know how, I can do that on my Mac, but I still haven't figured out how to do it on my Chromebook. So when you type your A, O, or U and you know it needs to be umlauted, put an E after it, and that will be the same as umlauting. Okay, why'd you choose German in the first place? I said your honesty will not be insulting because that's you. And whatever your opinion is of it is your opinion. I may disagree or I may not like it, but it's not my opinion. So I'm good with that. Okay, so let's go to what is your why. It's going to load up for us. Click on that. And you will see here, this is an actual picture that I took from the Brown Eck the summer before you came into German 1. Back here, I've got all my pictures. That's the Brown Eck right there. Okay, that thing right there. That's the brochure that's on that table, is that brochure right there that I put on my wall. Okay, that was my lunch that I had up there on the top of that mountain, which was really cool. Okay, so how much German do you remember? Write down as much as you can in 5 minutes. What words, phrases, things like that do you remember from last year? And notice how I said, please pull these directly from your brain. Remember that toolbox I talked about back here? Pull them out of that, okay? Don't get on your phone. If you don't remember it, don't write it down. I want to know what you remember. Don't open your textbook. Don't go to Passport and open the book and look up a bunch of stuff and say, oh yeah, that was that. No, whatever you can pull right out of your little toolbox back here, that's what I want to see. Might be a lot, might be a little. That's okay. Some of you, or one particular of you, has been to Germany recently, and you might know a whole lot more. Okay, what's your last name? What's your first name? Pretty simple. Right here, within 5 minutes. Now, if you need the whole 5 minutes, go for it, and you just keep on going. If you're done in about 20 seconds, then you're done in 20 seconds. Move on. Okay, do you remember why you chose to learn German? And what was your motivation? Okay, because again, as I told you, German's a more difficult language to learn than Spanish. So why did you choose it? What are you expecting to learn this year? What are you most interested in learning about the German-speaking culture? Something that we didn't touch maybe last year, something that we did kind of touch on but didn't get real deep into? Let me know. I'll try to add some of that stuff in this year. And what type of learner are you? Some of you have kind of figured out, yes, it seems to work better if I show pictures or let you draw instead of do an online assignment. So I'd just like you to remind me, if you're a visual learner, those are the things you like to see, pictures and videos, charts, graphs. You learn well from those kinds of things. Auditory learners, you love to learn by listening to music, things like that. Kinesthetic learners, you like to get up and move around, interact with your learning process. And tactile learners, you like to touch things. You're really good at like doing science labs, things where you get to manipulate cards and things like that that you can learn with. So you can pick 1, you can pick 2, you can pick 3, you can pick 4. Maybe you learn pretty well using all of those. That's great. Personally, I would pick all 4 because either way, I'm going to learn something. Okay, so I want you to do that today. That is your introduction to this class for this year. That's the way I'm going to know that you're here starting on Wednesday. Okay, so that is your first assignment for Wednesday the 12th. Okay, I'd like to look at some announcements while I have your attention. If you recall, some of you didn't understand when you saw grades and things like that in the grade book. I put that right here on Canvas. It's also on my teacher webpage. Okay, so if you might get something like K5, there's actually a DA1 in front of it. That just helps me remember it's Deutsch Aktuell 1, okay, which is the book you're learning, the blue book. So K5 LA GV 2324 number 89. What does that mean? That's what your grade book titles will look like. Okay, so K, remember K was Kapitel, which means chapter. So chapter 5. LA, if you recall, there's LA and LB in both of your chapters. The first section is Lección A, second section is Lección B. Okay, so LA or LB. The GV is for your grammar and vocabulary. Those are all worksheets that I can add to supplement to your learning. And then after the GV will be your 23, 24, whatever the page is. Actually, this year I've added an S in front of the 23 and 24, which means Seite, if you remember. Seite is page. Okay, number 8 and 9 are the exercises that are on those pages. Okay, so you would have a grammar and vocabulary worksheet. On the bottom, you would see page 23 or 24, and the exercise numbers you would do would be 8 and 9. Okay, your WB is your workbook. Your Q's are quizzes, LA listening activities, CA are communicative activities. Those are the ones where you got together and one of you had speaker A and one of you had speaker B, and then you would have conversations for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as you speak. Okay, so your Prüfung, if you recall, is a test. So you would have Prüfung, Kapitel, and then the number. So test, chapter, number. And then your TEKS. Okay, those are the basic essential learning standards that you will be using for your tests. So the 1A's deal with speaking and simple use of language, putting a vocabulary word on a line, basically. Okay, and TEKS 1B, those were the ones where you're listening. It's what you hear. And then TEKS 1C are the standards that deal with more difficult manipulation of the language. So those are your not fill in the blank, I'm sorry, I said that last time too. Short answers, okay? So you have to remember when you hear a question, was machst du am Samstag? Then on the sentence, you would write your answer to what did you do on Saturday? Okay? So, ich spiele Golf. I don't. Ich spiele Tennis is mostly what I do. Okay? So, those are your decoding. Okay? That's how you do your decoding those titles. And again, you're not going to remember all that. That's all right. You can always look it up. Okay? Here are a little bit of important information. Okay? Attendance is going to be a little tricky this year to start off with. Today, the fact that you're filling in this, your Y, and turning that in, that's going to be your attendance check for the day. Yeah, make sure it's done before noon, okay? Because I've got to make sure you're all checked in before noon. On your specific days, generally you would be on Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be your class days. I will be able to see whether or not you've logged into Canvas, and I will also be able to see whether or not you've logged into Passport. Every time you check in, it logs you in, and I can see that from my page. Okay, so until you come back, your tutoring is going to be Mondays 1:30 to 2, and Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2. So the link is somewhere, probably on Meet the Teacher. Anyway, look through here, find what you need. If you have any questions, please email me right away. My phone number is on there. You can call me at any time. It's my phone. You can see it right there. That's my phone. Okay? Call me. And I will try to help you as quickly and as well as I possibly can. Okay? So welcome back. I look forward to seeing you all in the classroom. Okay? So until then, stay healthy. And tschüss, if you remember that word, and auf Wiedersehen.